Were you lucky to hang on yesterday?
Oh, I wouldn't say lucky. I mean, it was a terrific effort by the boys as a whole. I mean, the character we showed, the resolve to go over there and to beat Sydney at the end of the day was terrific, and yeah, it was a great win for us.
How do you explain the third quarter, then the final quarter?
I'm not sure, mate, how to explain it, to be honest. Yeah, I guess momentum's a big thing these days in football. When teams can get a roll on, it's been happening a bit in other games that I've watched, so it's about arresting that momentum from the opposition.
How's the group feeling after this pretty brutal game? Is everyone a bit sore after the...
Yeah, I guess it depends, who you are, I guess. I pulled up pretty well. I mean, I haven't really got around to a lot of guys just yet to sort of see how they're travelling, but I mean, after a game like that against Sydney, a lot of stoppages, a lot of contested ball, I guess there'll be a few bruises.
Do you expect it to be a light week then?
Oh, I just expect it to be the sort of usual preparation that we would have in a 7-day break. You know, so that's where I see it as.
Were you surprised at the ground, Groves, how heavy it was, and they seem to have had the covers on or something? When you first got out there, what was your impression?
Yeah, I didn't find it too bad. I mean, it was a little bit slippery. I wore my long stops for the first time this year, so and they felt quite comfortable. So yeah, it was just a part and parcel. I guess you expect that when you go to Sydney, you know, a bit of a heavier ground and so on.
The coaches tell you to put the long stops on beforehand, or is it left?
I think it's yeah. I mean, being a backman and being on the last line defence, you know, you don't want to sort of roll the dice and take any risks. So personally, that's something that I know me and Luke McFarlane usually do.
And Nat Fyfe, outstanding game. Even as a teammate, are you amazed at just how quickly he's developed?
Oh, as a team, I mean, you know, you just sometimes you speak to the other guys and you go, you know, you do it sort of amazed at him, and it's just terrific, you know, that he just wants to strive to get better and better. And I mean, there's many guys at the club at the moment, you know, Nick Lower and Greg Broughton, Mazunga, you know, these guys are, them three especially, have been around the system for a while, and they just keep striving to improve themselves.
You see that passage of play where he picked up the ball as if it was dry and hit Pav on the lead with that pass? Yeah,
are you talking about Fyfe?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, you know, just sort of kick it to him and he'll mark it at the moment, isn't it? You know, a bit like that. But yeah, I just see him getting better and better, and I mean, we haven't seen the best of him yet.
West Coast have obviously got the tall forward line pretty potent down there. How much of a big day is it going to be for you guys, you and McFarlane?
Yeah, I mean, Silvani's back in the side now, and I mean, he's been terrific since he's got back, and I think that the main aspect of our defence is that we're a very competitive group, and it doesn't matter who we come up against, we're going to give it our best shot.
Is it unusual though? I mean, obviously with so many tall forwards down there to match up.
Personally, you know, I'd rather play on a taller forward line than a smaller one. So, yeah.
And do you normally get Kennedy or Lynch?
Oh, over the years, I mean, you sort of these days you end up playing. You know, it could have been 5 minutes, you know, and interchange. You end up on a different opponent. You know, it could be 2-3 opponents a quarter at times. But yeah, at times I've been Lecra, Lynch. You know, yeah. So that's wait and see, I guess. You know, I'm not too sure.
What's the key to negotiating your way through that forward press when you've got the ball?
Good skills first and foremost. You know, so you know, skills under pressure will be the key, and obviously having the options too. You know, so getting the right structure where you have the options to dispose of the ball.
Is that better to go through the boundary line or through the guts? Is there any real area where you can expose them and try to sneak your way through?
If there is an area we can expose them, I probably won't reveal it here, but hopefully we just get it right on the day. I mean, they've been terrific, it's been well documented, and obviously being in the same town as them, you get to see a lot more of their games, and also a lot more spoken about them through the media, so yeah, it gets highlighted.
Great, what's a bigger challenge, beating Sydney or West Coast this weekend?
The challenges keep coming, mate. I mean, I don't see it as any different from last week. I mean, we weren't looking at West Coast before Sydney, and we won't be looking at Hawthorn before West Coast this week.
Playing alongside Luke McFarlane all year, Groves, how have you seen his form?
He's been terrific, you know, in my personal opinion, you know, he's in sort of all-Australian form, and gives me great confidence going out and standing side by side with him, and I know the other defenders think the same.
Would you back him to go to JK, Josh Kennedy?
Oh, I probably think so, you know.
Yeah, you reckon Sandy, have you spoken to Sandy at all? Do you think there's a chance?
I've seen him once this morning and haven't spoken to him yet. So I just walked past him, but I'm not sure how he's going. So we've been waiting for a few days, and Not sure if he's been running or not. You might be able to tell me, mate. But yeah, that's about it.
You would have watched some vision of West Coast this year. You played the Derby earlier in the year. What have you made of the way they've been structuring up in attack?
In attack?
In attack, yeah.
Obviously
what you'll come up against this
They're
week.
a bit taller and their skills have been much improved from last year, and obviously their pressure. I mean, that goes a lot with the teams that are better, higher up on the ladder in the competition. That their pressure skills are, at the top echelon.
In terms of importance, where does this derby rate, given where both sides rate?
Oh, it's very important. Every game to the end of the season is going to be very important for us, where we sit in the ladder, and you just have to look at a bit of a logjam that's in and around us, behind us, so that we're going to have to make sure that we make every possible winner.
Are the Eagles more dangerous with Mark Lacroix in the forward line or in the midfield?
I'd rather have him in the midfield. So yeah, I'd say he's a pretty dangerous player, no matter where he is. So yeah.
So you said you prefer playing on talls than smalls. So for you, if you were asked to match up against someone like him this weekend, that certainly wouldn't be an ideal matchup, or you'd see that as a pretty difficult matchup.
Oh, I wouldn't say that. I'd say every matchup's a challenge, and you just go out there to do your best and beat your opponent. I mean, I played on smalls and talls, but we'll wait and see.
Is there any sort of lingering, from what happened, the Derby loss after a period of dominance over West Coast, any lingering feelings amongst the group about rectifying that this week?
To be honest, it hasn't sort of been spoken about. I mean, we played yesterday, we've just done recovery, so we're still sort of got our review to go yet, and then we're going to move on to West Coast.